So the Dow Jones Industrials headed a bit more south at this point, down about 764 points. We were just talking about the fact that the trading curves would kick in somewhere south of 1,000 points. They would close down for 15 minutes, but we're nowhere near there at the moment. Let's bring in Katie Pavlich, the news editor for townhall.com, and Fox News contributor Marsh, former senior advisor to Secretary John Kerry. Good to have both of you with us. Obviously, you know, there's been so much discussion about the 26th election and how much focus there will be on national security and events overseas. But what we're watching right now really moves this economy to the forefront of the conversation. And we just spoke earlier with Governor Christie. Donald Trump has weighed in on this morning as well. Katie, you know, this may become a front and center issue as we head toward the next debate.
Well, it certainly will. I mean, the economy is always on the minds of American voters, and they're going to want to know what Republicans are doing to make sure that the economy is better for them. I think Jerry made a good point when she was on earlier, saying that Wall Street is a little bit separate from Main Street in the sense that Main Street has recovered more slowly than Wall Street has. And I think that's where the GOP candidates have really sent their message. You know, Governor Scott Walker has talked about choice and freedom of being able to work where you want despite being tied to a union. You have Marco Rubio introducing a plan to replace Obamacare, which has killed a lot of jobs and implemented a ton of regulation on small businesses so that they can't hire new people. There are plans on the table here, and people are going to want to know what the specifics are of those plans.
Marianne, it raises a lot of questions when you've got Larry Summers saying that, you know, you really can't raise interest rates right now and writing about regulation. He was the architect of the early part of the Obama administration economy, and it frankly raises questions about whether or not we're doing the economy is steamrolling ahead like the Obama administration tells us it is.
Well, I think one very interesting thing to look out for, Martha, is the fact that President Obama is going to be meeting with the head of China in a few weeks in Washington. So that puts a whole new perspective on that meeting, and it's a very important one in light of these last few days. Second of all, when you look at the presidential race in 2016, it's always been about economics, and there's a line of populism that runs through most candidates, certainly on the Democratic side. Everyone's talking about the middle class. The only person on the Republican side talking about the middle class is Donald Trump. Now, how you get there, everyone's got different opinions. But I think we have to remember here, when Bill Clinton became president, he inherited a huge deficit. He built up an enormous surplus that George W. Bush spent us into a deficit. We had the worst economic recession of our lifetimes, and President Obama has been crawling us out of it, creating now at least 200,000 jobs a month.
What voters are worried, Marianne, doesn't that argument get a little bit old? I mean, when you're toward the end of the second term in the presidency, does that no? So here's the question. You know, the only alternative that hasn't been tried by the Obama administration is to dramatically cut taxes and cut regulation to bring business back here at home. Is that something that you would expect that Democratic candidates would now start saying?
No. It doesn't work, Martha, and we know that because every time Republicans have tried that, we can disagree, but the facts are trickle-down economics simply don't work for the very people who are being hurt the most by this economy.
So growing the size of government and increasing taxes, that works? Because that's been working really well for the past 2 terms.
I'm not saying that's the answer. That's not the answer either.
What we've been doing.
The answer,
well, that's exactly what Hillary Clinton wants to do
investing in fairness, investing in opportunities for people,
investing in fairness.
Investing in fairness. That sounds a lot like redistribution of wealth, investing in fairness.
No.
That also sounds like Hillary Clinton's mode of revenue enhancements instead of just admitting that she wants tax increases.
No.
You know, Hillary Clinton is going to try the same things that Barack Obama has tried. In fact, she's going to go to the left of Barack Obama and try to go more Bernie Sanders when it comes to the quote rich paying more and really hosing the middle class when it comes to their health care and them not having jobs available. And it's not true that Donald Trump is the only one talking about the middle class. Marco Rubio has talked about how his family came from nothing, poor to upper class. He's come through the ranks. So to say that it's just Donald Trump isn't true. All the GOP candidates have talked about the middle class, and they've laid out details and specifics, unlike Hillary Clinton, who will just say she wants to help the middle class without any real plan.
I have a question for you, Katie, because Donald Trump has said that he wants to tax hedge fund managers more. He thinks that the rich, in some cases, should pay more than they're paying now. Do you agree, and do you think that's going to work with conservative voters?
Martha, look, we have to keep in mind here that the federal government has taken in more taxes this year than they've ever taken in the history of the United States. So clearly, tax increases is not the way to grow the economy. And when you put in taxes on the top 1% who are paying the majority of the taxes, guess what? That trickles down into the economy, and it makes sure that people don't have money available to pay workers, to pay them salaries, to pay middle-class people the jobs that they need, and to employ them. And so it is a trickle-down effect in the sense that it takes away money from those who are working hard to get it.
Marianne?
Here's the difference, Martha. The tax policies between Hillary Clinton and the Democrats and then the Republicans couldn't be more different. The Republicans want to continue to give Wall Street, big businesses, big banks, every break in the book when everybody bailed them out. What Hillary Clinton and the Democrats want to do is give those breaks to small businesses, just like she did when she was in the United States Senate. Talk to any small business person, especially in upstate New York, where everybody thought they wouldn't vote for her. She worked day and night to make sure that they could get a fair shot at a market, at the economy, and every opportunity, because small business creates jobs. That's where the investments need to be made, and that's not where they've been made by Republicans. So you can talk all day long about tax cuts and tax breaks, but Donald Trump is right on the tax rate, right on the on the hedge fund piece, and right that if you make tens of millions of dollars, you should pay a little more.
It's such a red herring. I mean, small businesses in this country have been crushed under the Obama economy and under the Obama regulations that have implemented increasing taxes on small businesses, which is exactly what Hillary Clinton wants to do through her programs, is not going to help the economy grow. We've done it before. It failed. It's time to take a different approach, and GOP candidates are taking that approach.
All right, with that, we will leave it.
You're entitled to your own opinion, Katie, but not your own facts. And the fact is, hundreds of thousands of jobs are being created with Obamacare. Okay.
No.
Well, there have been a lot of jobs lost because companies have cut back due to Obamacare costs as well, and that's also a fact. So there you go. Thank you very much, ladies. Good to have you both here today.